On Tuesday, we saw the harsh reality of a 2025 Emerson Hancock as he faced off against a Michael Lorenzen that tinkered the Mariners to death, but at least Randy Arozarena continued his blistering start to the week. Welcome to the Dom Skeen channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's minds. And the Mariners fall 6-3 in the second of the four-game series to Kansas City as you began the month of July on the wrong page of the loss. You get out-hit 10-7 in the 6-3 loss, and also out-hit on expected batting average 366 to 212. And when you look at Emerson Hancock, 6 runs let in. You think we still have a chance to win the game, but it was deflating. Emerson Hancock missing all sorts of balls over the plate. Just missing his pitches. Only threw 4 pitches in this start. 38 sinkers, 38 four-seamers. He's become a sinker four-seam tinker guy. 16 changes, 10 sliders on that, for a grand total of 102 pitches and just 6 swinging strikes. The most worrying thing, however, partly is the fact that his average exit velocity at 89.2, he's still kept in check for the most part. But the max exit velos on every one of his pitches are 104.7 or more. And when you look at how many times he was hard hit over just 6 innings, he was hard hit. Oh my gosh. It's hard to even count on Baseball Savant. I think 15 times. So, about as many times as you can get hard hit. 102 pitches, 15 of them hard hit into play. And that's how you end up with a 366 expected batting average for Kansas City, despite their hard hit rate being 41.7%, whereas ours was 58.3%, much higher. So the Royals didn't get that many hard hits overall, but they got a ton off of Emerson Hancock, quite a few off of Bizardo and a few off Burgos as well. And when they did, they were all for hits, basically. You had Jonathan India with one. Everybody on the Royals, other than Jack Caglianone and defensive replacement Drew Waters, got a hit. And Kyle Isbell didn't get a hit, but he had an RBI. So the entire Royals lineup feasted. Again, not one of the best offenses in the league, so just scores 6 runs on a night where, if it was the Yankees or Dodgers, I'm sure they would have piled on double digits. When you had, Michael Lorenzen coming out to start for them, going 4.2 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, a homer, and he really tinkered the Mariners to death. He used 7 different pitches in this one. He threw 89 pitches, 9 swinging strikes, and 89 pitches is not terrible. Although Michael Lorenzen, definitely not a big swinging strike guy. So the fact that you're giving those up to him, that's more of what it is than, this pitcher is coming in and attacking our lineup. He throwing 7 different pitches again, 34 four-seamers, 16 sliders, 12 sinkers, 11 changeups, 7 curveballs, 6 sweepers, 3 cutters. And then 3 whiffs on 34 four-seamers, 4 on 16 sliders. That was kind of his money pitch, and then 2 on 11 changeups. The sinker, curve, sweeper, and cutter didn't get any swing and miss. But Lorenzen was doing just enough to keep the Mariners at bay in this one. You look at the way that he attacked our lineup too. He throws 37 of those pitches in the strike zone, 52 outside of the strike zone, and we did a pretty good. We've been doing a pretty good job at not swinging swinging pitches outside the zone recently. But Lorenzen just lived in the zone, which is, even worse. It's like, well, if you're going to live in the zone and we're not going to punish it, what are we doing? Clearly, again, so 34 four-seamers by Michael Lorenzen on 89 pitches, and then just a bevy of 6 different secondaries. When you're pitching against the Mariners, the easy blueprint is not to throw us the four-seam fastballs because we get our pitch and don't miss. That's the Edgar and Dan philosophy. And when you throw us just 34 four-seamers, then a bunch of secondaries, maybe, just maybe, right, we only take advantage of 1 or 2 of them, and Michael Lorenzen get through with just 4 hard hits allowed. One of those being Randy's homer. But yeah, other than that, we just had a hard time punishing Michael Lorenzen just throwing stuff over the plate at us. Fastballs, and even worse, the breakers just sitting in the zone. Big problem for the Mariners, especially since Noah Cameron tonight is likely to throw a lot of breakers in the zone. If we're going to need to get him off of those breakers early and force him to use that four-seamer, because the only two bad outings he's had this year were Yankees and Dodgers, the best offenses in the league, basically. You could, I guess, put some other teams up there, but, and when the Yankees and Dodgers came up against him, they had to hit a few homers. Obviously, those lineups just get hot and they start, moving like a turnstile. You're not going to get a ton of base runners against this guy. He's got a really low whip, Noah Cameron. So tonight we've got the bad news is that we played awful against a pitcher who wasn't very good yesterday. The good news is that we've got one that is good today, that we have the opportunity to really rebound in that same category of hitting breaking balls, especially over the zone, and forcing pitchers to throw us fastballs, which we love to hit. We can rectify the lack of damage done to Michael Lorenzen by putting it all on Noah Cameron's line tonight. And that's also, we'll tie the series up if we can go out and win this game. We'll take the lead in the series. It's tied right now. Guarantee ourselves a series tie, no matter what happens on Thursday. So with Emerson Hancock, his line, 6 innings pitched, 5 earned runs on 7 hits, 1 strikeout to 3 walks, 102 pitches. Doesn't allow the homer, but a 5.47 ERA, and he did get optioned to AAA after this. Clearly, something's not working. We saw him come out with the sinker approach early, the sinker slider tinker approach, and that was awful. We saw him come back up and fade away from it into the sinker four-seam tinker approach, and now this is starting to look absolutely awful after a few months of limiting contact just enough to where you can be a 5-starter. But now, where do we go from here? I mean, the awesome, the dream scenario is that you can get him to just throw that four-seamer as the primary, and you can have those secondaries that clearly do have potential. We've seen him really attack with those, despite usually having a conservative approach. He can be a guy who mixes up his approach just enough, has a good enough four-seam, change-up, slider, curveball type of approach, where he can get through these lineups as a 5-starter, give you a chance to win, and be really a game plan connoisseur. Pitch against teams, pitch to their weaknesses, don't pitch to their strengths, basically. Because he can throw a lot of different pitches, and he can do a lot of different things as far as like command and pitchability of the strike zone. We've seen him try out so many approaches. It's like, why can't he just revert to what works and then pitch to the team's weaknesses? I'm sure that's what he's trying to do right now, but clearly it's not working. So he's going to go back to AAA Tacoma, hopefully figure it out, and hopefully be back with us at some point in the next few weeks. Logan Evans obviously going to come back up to take his place in the short term. At least hasn't been announced yet, but most likely. And Joe Jock was recalled from AAA Tacoma. Sorry, it might have been AA. I think it was AAA. But anyway, Joe Jock joins the Mariners and will be in the bullpen tonight. Anyway, looking at the rest of this game, Randy staying hot with the homer. Now 3 homers in 2 days to start the week. We knew that the homers would come in bunches for Randy, and now it looks like they're starting to come. That Savant Page is going to change a whole lot. He's 30 years old. He's going to try to get another big payday in his career, and there's no time like right now where it's incredibly hot. The ball is absolutely flying. For Randy to get hot right now. It's just perfect. So hopefully Randy can be the one to carry our order. You look at the lineup tonight, it's a lot of Mariners fans look at this lineup and say, we're worried. We got a good pitcher on the other side, Noah Cameron. Obviously, we've got Gilbert, so we've always got a chance. But when you look at Crawford, Rodriguez, or Rosarena, no Cal Raleigh tonight. You've got a 4-5-6 cleanup, and then the 5 and 6 holes is Solano, Polanco, and Garver. So a lot of Mariners fans feel iffy about that. But if Solano is the guy, it could be the absolute key tonight. If Solano can work at that cleanup spot against Noah Cameron, not only would that just be a sight to see in terms of this game plan that to the average baseball fan who's looking at basic stats doesn't look great, it could completely work out in your favor and make you look more formidable going forward. Just being able to change things around and put Solano in that spot and then have it work out. So you look at, Noah Cameron, really good expected WOBA and expected batting average against for him, but nothing close to the elite numbers of Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert, if he has another, I would like to say this is third start coming back from injury. If he has another good one right now, this will be his fourth. But if he has another good start, he went 5.5, 5.1 in those ones. Ended up giving up some earned runs, but has been striking out guys. So we want to see Logan obviously get through the sixth inning, but also, the strikeouts are there. So just one good start, and Logan Gilbert could be back to being a top 20 starting pitcher the rest of the way. You just want to see one where everything comes together. But Logan has all those tools, so I'm feeling optimistic. I'm gonna go with 8 strikeouts for Logan tonight. I'm gonna go with 8-4 is the score. We win, and then I'm gonna go for Donovan Solano to hit a homer. All right, that's gonna do it for today. I will see you guys back here tomorrow to recap Game 3 of this series. With that being said, go Ems.